Julia Weigert, thank you for joining me today. You have an amazing trip coming up to Egypt, and this one is a little bit different than what you already planned in the past. So, welcome, and please share with us about this new exciting expedition.
Hi, Claudiu, and hi, everyone who's watching this. Yeah, I am very excited. Thank you so much for having me. It's, where to start? I mean, I just want to say I was sitting this morning with attuning to the guides and yeah, this whole intention for the trip. And it really hit me that every time that I personally go to Egypt, I go there to die. And it might sound a little bit drastic, but I feel Egypt is very much holding these transformational alchemical codes of death and rebirth. And that is also why so many people and why we are being told that the pyramids are all about death, which they are, but this is only one side. So they hadn't they forgot basically like what happens when you traverse and like you go through that and come out on the other side again. And so, yeah, I'm very happy to share with you guys what's happening. We are traveling in December, and I have been to Egypt many times as a participant before. I'm leading different trips all around the world. I've done a couple this year to Mary Magdalene places in France, and also beautiful Valley of Light in Switzerland. And so this is going to be the first one that I am actually guiding by myself to Egypt. And it's a lot about ancient light body technology. So we're going to be connecting with our Merkaba light body and also the pyramid grid.
Interesting. And I know I cannot remember the name of that individual who said we have to die before we die. And I know there are podcasts in which I talk about this concept at length, but indeed, Egypt is the right place to have that spiritual transformation, rebirth, from our own ashes as new spiritual beings.
Totally. And I feel so much in that history. And also, it's not just the history, but also it's these deep layers that are ingrained in the mythology. And also, it was something that by standards, like everyone would actually also live, like they would live with this perception of we have a divine soul, like we are eternal star beings that are given a body as that vessel to traverse and like leave our imprints of love and whatever your soul mission is on the earth. And so when we access that ancient knowledge that I feel is very much present in these structures that, yeah, the ancient ones have left for us, because it's like a living library. And then when you enter that holographic resonance field, these codes come alive and they crack open in your body as well.
Yes, and I know December is going to be a very busy month for Egypt, especially in the Cairo area and the well-known pyramids. But you decided to take a different path in December. So if you can share your website and explain to us where are you going to take your guests?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let me see. Well managed. Okay, so you guys should be able to see that right now. I'm gonna just put us a little smaller. Yes, and I totally agree. And funny enough, also there is something about being in Egypt in December. I don't really have words for what it actually is. It might also be because my birthday is in December, but I've always felt it's a very, very potent time. And we will be traveling over that 12/12 portal that I also feel is very much connected or to the theme that I am going. And I know that there's, yeah, many people who are leading trips to Egypt, many trips that are being offered. And some might even say like, oh, it's a little bit saturated right now. Honestly, I feel it is not. And there is a reason why so many people are feeling called to go to Egypt right now to retrieve these soul codings for themselves. And there is different people who do it in a very different way. I personally like very small and intimate groups. So I take 12 people maximum. It's a women's journey also. And yeah, the theme is initiation into the Merkaba grid. So it's really all about ancient body technology, the light body, and also by becoming these tuning forks, we we help that resonance field of the Earth's Merkaba as well. And so let me scroll down a little bit. Some of the highlights that I have accumulated for you here. So imagine you arrive and the arrival would take place one day before. And then on that 12/12 portal, we are going to have a private ceremony in between the pause of the Sphinx for sunrise. So that's a very, very special place where it is said, and also personally, like from my experience, I feel it's very true that there is a big, you know, there's big resonance chambers underneath, not just the Sphinx, but also now what's been coming up with these latest discoveries under the pyramids. I feel it's just there's so many synchronicities happening with that. We see that the information that were channeled or were like more in available in Gnostic teachings, let's say. And now there is also that scientific proof that is coming in that these findings are popping up. And so there's definitely, like, if you have a call to Egypt, there's definitely something there for you that you have probably left in former lifetimes, or that your soul is just like on the call, like picking up on these energetic threads and these codes that are there for you. And so we'll start at the Sphinx. It's for me a very, very big resonance field of Akashic codings, like on a personal level. And from there, we will traverse, that would be like this picture here, into a beautiful ancient, it's not only a temple complex, it's literally an entire city in itself, which already also holds pyramids in itself. There is one that is called the Pyramid of Unas, and the ancient pyramid text, so one of the earliest writings that we have about or from the ancient Egyptians was found there, and it's also like the writings on the wall. And there is another place that is part of the Serapeum, which is Saqqara. And I don't know, many might have heard, or you might have already visited it, but that is such a peculiar place, like that from modern day mind perspective, it doesn't even make sense. But then when you go and you really feel that there is some ancient Atlantean technology that is stored and that is accessible to us. And it was also I see it as one of the first hospitals, if you want to say so, where they were really operating from that like body, mind, spirit perspective, where it was sound, resonance, and also water that was really coming together to heal the body and bring the body back to these innate capabilities of self-healing. So that is kind of like what's happening in the first days. And then I know many people like go and do a temple tour along the Nile and the temples with the chakras. That's not what I'll be tapping into, because I feel it's very much about this technology in the combination with like the Akashic codings, not just for personal ascension, but also for the earth. And that's why I would like to guide you into an experience in the desert. And you can see this here, which is ancient whale fossils. There is a beautiful UNESCO heritage site that is called the Valley of Whales. And it's a remnant of, again, like where we can connect to the times where the surface of the earth was covered in water, and water being that great conductor of energy, and like that field where we can tap into information that's been like from times past. And the whales that are to me like these ancient guardians of holding the frequency field of the earth, and the bones are very much like, yeah, it's these structures that we can tap into that are holding also part of that etheric DNA in a way. And so the Sphinx with that personal akashic codings and the Valley of Whales, it's kind of like the mirror where you would connect your personal akasha to the akasha of the earth. So many codes to be retrieved there. And we're going to be having one overnight stay in beautiful, desert tents, and connecting with this wisdom that is stored there. And it's a site that is, it's just like utterly stunning. But I also know that many people don't go there because it's a little bit off. But I consciously decided that this is part of the intention for the trip, to weave that in. And then, as we have collected all of these Akashic codings and are holding them in our bodies, in our resonance fields, we are coming back to Cairo, to the plateau, and we'll be weaving them into the pyramids. So, of course, you can't go to Egypt without a visit into the Great Pyramid. So we'll have a private visit into the Great Pyramid, and you'll have the possibility to, just have the pyramid like 2 hours for yourself. Tone in there, have ceremony and ritual, go into the sarcophagus, of course, visit the Queen's Chamber, the King's Chamber. But there is one place that honestly is my favorite place in the Great Pyramid, and it's none of these chambers. It's actually in the subterranean. It's I call it the well, where it's sometimes also called the well. And my experience has just been really like connecting with this primordial dragon energy that's coming out from that hole in the earth. So it's very potent. And then we're going to be...
Sorry to interrupt. And if is
no,
that place a pitch dark environment, I heard that is very dangerous for some, especially if you're claustrophobic. And some people passed away. They transitioned being in that place.
Oh, I haven't heard about that, but I would not be surprised actually. I wouldn't say pass away. I would probably say like dissolve into light, or transcend their bodies into an energetic state. So there is, as far as I remember, and I went 2 times, there is a little light. But it is overall, I want to say all the pyramids, like the pathways that you go through, and it's also something that I prepare the people that are coming with me, because you are right, they're very narrow. So I'm a tiny person. It's you have definitely an advantage if you're not too tall. And then there is a couple of tricks, I would say, how you can overcome if you want to come into the structures with us. But if there is really someone who can't bear it, then there is a possibility, of course, also to keep you safe without going inside. And it can already be very powerful. I just feel like connecting through a view, like the first time that I went on a terrace just to view the sunset, connecting with the second pyramid, it's been one of the most powerful experience. And I like communicated with her, and she told me many lifetimes that I have been in Egypt, and that in itself can already be super powerful and activating. So you don't have to necessarily like go into the pyramid to get the most out of it, not at all. So then there's Khafre, the middle one that we see here behind the Sphinx, and that to me it's the cosmic mother. So there is also, many people don't go in there. I would not want to miss that. It's one of my favorites because it's a lot gentler, I feel, than the Great Pyramid. And I had such a huge experience with the whales and like with the cosmic womb space. And that's why for me, there is a straight connection to the Valley of the Whales. So bringing and connecting these codings. And I also want to say, like, everything, to me, a pilgrimage and a sacred travel is really a mirror of the outer and the landscapes that you are traversing, and also the things that are happening in your immediate field, and that may even include outside, like at home, what's happening at home. And this is a mirror for your entire, like, inner landscape, what is happening and what is going on, and observing consciousness, or becoming aware of how consciousness and energy travels in your body, including all the triggers. And Egypt is a very physical experience, I want to say, also because the energy that is held is really very strong. It's a lot, and including myself, I've had purging moments, which can definitely happen. So there is an entire pyramid grid. It's not just the 3 pyramids on the Giza plateau there, but there's even more. So you see the red one here, for example, the bent pyramid, the red pyramid. And so we are going to be going to exploring all of these different pyramids that, to me, are very much that rainbow light body, and every pyramid holds a different tone of your soul evolution, of your soul song, if you want. And Egypt is also like, and specifically the Giza plateau is not set to be the throat chakra for nothing, right? So definitely when you travel, there's a lot of like voice activation, truth speaking happening. And also, for me, the first time that I went, what I noticed, and what also people in my field noticed, was that when I came back, my voice had changed. I had a different frequency in my voice. So that is, yeah, what's majorly happening about the Akashic field and the pyramid grid. And then we are also visiting Coptic Cairo, which, weaving in the divine feminine and bringing in like the Sophia Christ as that Merkaba and sacred union in itself. It's a place where we find, or where you can connect a lot with these, what I call like Magdalene loads, or the Magdalene consciousness, because there is one church that used to be a sanctuary for Mother Mary and baby Yeshua. And so a lot of these Christ codings are stored in these subterranean and in these temple walls as well. And of course, there's also part for what I call like sacred shopping. We're going to visit an oil store and have a beautiful experience with a master person in aromatherapy and healing with the oils, a mirror for, and you'll have some free time and integration as well. And all of these outer experiences are very much woven into, alchemy sharings that is happening, circles that are happening. So for me, one of the essential things is really that people go prepared, and that they leave with space for integration. Because I personally was on once on a trip where there was no integration happening at all. And for me, my body and my consciousness level at the time, it was simply too much. And I had no idea how to hold it, which also led to a big crash after. And so for me, it's been a really integral and essential part to prepare people. So that's why also when you sign up, you receive an entire course about the alchemy, about the temples in Egypt, and you'll also be joining each month a preparation call that we'll be having, plus also after we come back, much time for integration and sharings. Yeah.
Thank you. Beautiful. And for the women who will like to go and they don't know how to approach their husbands or partners, you just say, I want to go to Egypt for sacred shopping. I want to learn how to sacred shop.
Yes.
And that's it. Is the best, explanation. They don't have to know
Excuse.
anything else.
Yes, yes. I love that. And it's great that you speak to that, because I feel, especially like when there is such a deep knowing inside, and that's also been the case for me, like the first time that I saw that Egypt trip that I went to the first time, I just knew that I had to go. And it was in the midst of COVID. Like it didn't make sense at all. My whole family was freaking out about it. And I was so sure. I just knew I needed to go. And I'm not saying this, there were a lot of hiccups also for me, and I was scared as hell because I also knew that that would, I mean, not consciously knew, but usually you already have a feeling like that something is going to happen that will shatter your entire reality and the world that you will live in. Again, like it doesn't have to be that drastic, but it can be in your highest and best interest, because the version that will come out of you after that trip, and then once you integrate all of these codes into your life, is just more aligned, more centered, more focused and clear on what your mission and purpose is.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing. And people will be back to their homes for Christmas for those who will celebrate. So it's a perfect time frame
Yes.
for them to give themselves that type of
Mm-hmm.
gift, experience the beauty and the energetic power of Egypt, and then come back refreshed for a new year.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Maybe let's also just speak a little bit about the logistics. So we'll have two different accommodations in Cairo, and then also, of course, the desert camp. So one night in a valley. There is um, shared room accommodation available, but there's also single room accommodation available for those who like. And the entire trip includes all the accommodation. It includes the meals and all the excursions, of course. You will also, when you go on the website, you'll have a little bit of um, a rough idea of like how the days are going to be flowing. But as we are in Egypt, nothing happens until it actually happens. So also just like bear that in mind. And for those curious, the investment for all of that, as I said, it's really all, basically everything is included except for the flight coming and going, starts at 5,995 for a double room. And yeah, I'll just invite you to check that out to feel for yourself. Is this your calling? Is this your calling now? Because there's also a divine timing and sequencing, and that things unlock. And then book a call with me, and let's see if this is the trip for you right now.
Yes, I encourage you all to check the website. We're going to have the link in the description, and then
Yes,
book
the
a call with
sharing.
Julia, that who will provide more details in case you still have questions. So, Julia, thank you once again for presenting this beautiful opportunity, and good luck with everything you are doing.
I thank you for having me. And yeah, thanks for that beautiful opportunity. All the best with your show. And everyone out there listening, watching, be in touch.
Thank you. Bye.